Hello, welcome back to another Atomic Cards, the Atomic Cast. What are we on now? Episode 4? Episode 4? I feel like episode 4.
Yes.
Episode 4. Episode 4? Talk movie. Episode 4. It's
Five.
definitely episode 4. Good. There was a 2.5 in there. That's what's thrown me off.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.5. So it's me. Hello, Tom. I'm here. With me down below, I have got Ross
What's up?
and Zahir.
Hey,
If it looks like Zahir's mucking around with stuff in the background, that's because he is. What are you building for us, Zahir?
I am building lots of Moria terrain for you right now. Yeah, and a bit of brie as well. So just
Ooh, nice
Mixing
bit of
them.
cheese.
yeah, always Captain Cheese.
So obviously, if you know, Zahir was on our last battle report with Curtis from London. That just because like Ross actually lives quite far away from me, and Lee's having a baby and stuff. So we asked these guys nicely to do a little battle report. So you haven't got checked out, go check it out. It's their first time doing a YouTube's thing like that. So be nice to them, and just like pop in a comment to be like, "Oh, this was nice, thanks guys," and things like that. Or don't, it's up to you.
And anything you don't like, tell us as well, because we need to learn.
Yes, because you never know, they might do some more if you guys say it was nice. Cool. So let's get rolling. Today we are going to do the top 5 unnamed evil heroes, and hopefully during the week we'll then have a top 5 unnamed good heroes coming up for you as a little follow-up. So I guess without further ado, and well, let me just pull this up first because we were following on for some feedback last time. Well, hey, it's a list. Lee has texted a list again because he's busy with Babby, so we didn't want to disturb him too much. I should have done. I'm going to send him a text now and ask if I can put a cute picture of the baby up on screen, just for everyone to know. So I'll start off with his list actually, because I think it's quite interesting. Then we could all tear him to shreds. So his number 5. He has put a Corsair bosun.
Wrong.
That's a nice shout.
Yeah, they're cheap. They've got a banner effect. A banner effect that can kill you, but that's fine. 45 points.
No, he doesn't. The bosun doesn't kill you. That's Dalgamar, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's the whippy boy who kills you. All right, yeah, soz. He just shouts at you. But still, bosun done.
I think it's because you can take the Reavers, can't you? Then
yeah, the bosun's not good. The Reavers are good,
yeah.
in my opinion. Although bosuns are still pretty good, but yeah, the Reavers are what truly makes it. Zahir, why don't you give us your number 5?
Mine is Barrow White.
The Barrow White.
Yeah, because in Angmar it just makes
I'm going to jump in and say Barrow White was my number 5 as well.
Controversial.
I think that they're just really handy to have, and they make orcs terrifying, which is ridiculous at 5 points apart.
How many points are they?
50,
I think.
50. I think for me, what makes them worth their points is just the threat.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got 2. There's so, I think it's 6. I mean, the range for the Paralyze isn't that great. It's only 6, and it's a 4+. So I know sometimes it's a bit like shooting when you're shooting on a 4+. Half the time you never seem to hit anything. But there we go. But yeah, it's literally just the threat. Just like if you're looking at anything that's, like Rivendell Knights, Rohan, you'd be absolutely shitting bricks, if I can say that. Sorry, that your heroes
does not care whether you can or not,
or any of your cabs is going to go anywhere near it, and he's just going to go right. Yeah, I'm just going to have to avoid it like the plague. And then, as I said, with it being with Angmar, if you've got like Gullivars, or you've got Rich Kings who are also doing spells as well, it's just an absolute nightmare. So to me, I think it's just where they place You can almost like control where the opponent's going with your barrow wights, because you've just got that right. Well, I'm just going to push forward with my barrow wights, especially if you're moving first, and then they're going to sort of have to okay, well, I'm just going to have to try and avoid the 6-inch bubble, and so my hero doesn't get paralyzed. Because when you are paralyzed and you do get paralyzed, it can be an absolute pain to get out of, because you need 6, and you don't particularly want to be spending might on it if you've got like a 3 might hero who you want for like striking and all that sort of thing, and your moves and that. It's just so yeah, for 50 points, the threat is just it's ridiculous. So
a barrow wight with 1 will left on the table is just really irritating, because you can't go too close to it, because it's just going to go boop, and there's that chance that it could just boop.
Yeah.
It's just they're naughty little boys, and like you say, the force multiplying, that's fantastic. My number 5, I've got a little bit out there. I've gone for a Hash Harren.
nice.
Bonus points if you take it as Corsairs of Umbar instead of Harad. So in the Corsairs of Umbar list, he is a hero of valor, I believe. Yes, the Hash Harren is a hero of valor in the Corsairs, which means that he's another 15 warriors you can bring with him, which in and of itself in the Corsairs list is fantastic, in my opinion. And then they're a wee bit pricey because they are 80 points. But what you get is a fight 5 free attack lad who's got 1 heroic strike that you can use. He's only got 1 might. But then they've got Bane of Kings as well. And it's that Bane of Kings with the full rerolls to wound all the time. These chaps are reliably just munching through troops. If you want them to go hero killing, they'll absolutely do that for you. But they're just great. Better in 2s and 3s than on their own, I think. But yeah, they're naughty.
They are good.
They're
Have they got
definitely
the
honourable mentions.
Have they got the same rule with the nut traps?
Yeah, can't trap them.
Yeah, so that's quite good if you're going sort of 4D with a Corsair list. You're not worried about trapping him and getting your guys around him a bit too much.
Yeah, you can't trap them. They've got heroic defense and they've got 2 wounds of free fate, so they work really nicely as like that kind of anti-tank as well, because you can just chuck it into stuff and go, oh, come on in. What are you going to do about it? Yeah, Hash Harren, my number 5.
Great choice.
Happy days. Right. We're smashing for this, lads. I'm well happy. All right. Number 4 from Lee. Yeah, it's pure pace today. No time for chat. He's gone for an generic ring wraith. This is number 4.
Interesting.
We say if ours is higher up in the list.
I haven't.
No, mine's third.
What?
That's my third. Just to save time.
Oh, spoilers. Oh, Zahir.
Well, I thought as we're talking about it anyway.
All right.
Yeah, it's just wrapping. So I think he's my third as well. Sorry, okay. I'm like copying to here. Yeah,
I'll put him up there then. Fine. It's there. He's there.
Me and Ross have not been conferring.
So the generic wraith. Why don't you guys tell us about the generic wraith then while he's there? Ross,
would you like to start?
No, I rambled too much on my last one. You can go for a bit.
Well, I think they're just a great support hero. You've got March. They're just great at harrying like heroes and stuff. You just keep them behind the line. Just put them behind a line of Gundala. Not Gundala. Moran and Orcs, and just fire off spells at heroes. And then if you handily take Kardush, you just sat there well, and you can even use them as a leader to get D6 bill back, and then they can go around doing contests of champions and stuff at low points. They're just a really handy Swiss Army knife, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely like the versatility. Obviously, you can have them maxed out 15 wheel, 2 might, 2 fate, and all that sort of thing. Fell beasts and cav, and you can make them like a real powerhouse thing to be quite scary, or you can just, I don't know. I think they're quite good you know, in the points wise, you could just like chuck him in with anything really. You can chuck it with any list. I find Mordor. It doesn't have to be Mordor. It could be anything. If you're happy with it being a yellow ally and just having a fairly cheap spellcaster that can do a variety of stuff for like.
Are they Fortitude or Valor?
Fortitude, I think.
Oh, so you can't yellow them, can you?
Oh, can you not? I thought they were Valor in some lists. Oh, there we go. I don't know.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah, they are from Mordor, aren't they? So there is quite a lot. I mean, you can chuck them with, can't you? So
Yeah, there's all the named ones are Valor. I think all the Ring Race Fortitude.
Okay. So I was trying to think what Mordor is allied with at the moment. Yeah, but
lots of things.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I mean, you could always take like a really cheap sort of Valor Mordor and have a ring.
Yeah.
They start from 50 points. And you can just literally take it from that and not really care about it and just use it for its magic and let it die or what have you.
I really like them for their. It's a cheap way of getting March into a list, which has a different look to the captain. So even if you just run them as essentially a captain, but as 60 points, they're quite good for that. And then they're you've still got a defense 8 high courage model on the table for standfasts and stuff, which you really like as well. That's
Plus the Harbinger of Evil is just handy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just one to courage, just something that everybody likes. And
absolutely. Zahir, who was your number 4?
My number 4 was a Hunter Orc captain, because I think they're just little wrecking balls. If you have them with, your named heroes in the Azog Hunters list or Azog or Bolg themselves, just having them, like, if you put them on a Warg, they have 3 attacks, and then if they lose their Warg, they still have 3 attacks. At strength 4, it's just good fun to go just munching through troops.
Yeah, correct.
Solid.
Thank you.
I have no answer.
Rob, there's nothing else to say. That is correct. Good job, Zahir.
I've never really played with Hunter Orc captains, so I don't really know. I can't really comment on that.
If they were in any other list, you'd take them all the time.
Yeah,
I think. But because they're not, it's one of those things where, because Fimble exists and the other Hunter Orc captains exist, you often overlook a standard Hunter Orc captain. But no, they're pretty tasty.
cool.
Maybe they'll see more play now in the Pits of Dogwood Legion. Zahir.
Yeah.
Yep, they have. Yeah. The thing is,
if you'd like to see them in action, you can check out our latest battle report.
Definitely.
Who's watching videos in the back?
No, it's all right. I've got 2 phones, and my list is on my other phone. So there we go.
All right.
Cool.
So, Are you either a drug dealer or cheating on your wife?
That's what I was just about to say. I was like, I don't know whether I know Ross well enough to say either of those things yet.
Because I've got 2 phones. Everyone goes, "Oh, you must be a drug dealer." I'm like, "No, I'm not a drug dealer. I've just got 2 phones."
I also have 2. I have a work one and a me one.
Fair enough.
But that's because I work with kids a lot, so the work one's like separate to everything. But yeah. Number 4, Ross.
So for me, my number 4 is a cave drake.
Ooh. I didn't even think about those.
Yeah, forgot about that. Nice.
I forgot about all the Moria monsters. That's brilliant.
Don't ask me because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think they fight 7 strength, 6 or 7. It must be.
They are. You ready? Don't forget the biggest fact is their move 8.
Yes.
Very important. Their fight 6, strength 7, defense 7, 4 attacks, 6 wounds, courage 4, and they have a might. So that's exciting. Yes, they have 1 might and 1 fate, but 6 wounds. So they don't care. But yeah, cave drakes.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They are pretty good, and at 150 points, they're an absolute bargain, I think.
Yeah. I think that's what sells them most to me is just how cheap they are.
Yeah.
So 100. I mean, you could easily rock up for like, I don't know, 500 points higher. You could easily rock up with 2 and just a bunch of goblins and like maybe like a shaman in there to like help them stick around a bit. And I think it was really fun as well. Really.
My only mild problem with them is for 50 points more, you could have a watcher.
Yeah.
But other than that, like they're a great budget little pick. But yeah, they're fantastic little dudes. Good lads. Good lads. We like them.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I've my number 4 I've gone for a Candish King on Chariot.
Ooh.
Chariote.
Chariote. I love a little chariot. I do. They're quite fun.
I've been run over by them far too many times.
Exactly. Now, I've had the displeasure of using it against these stupid dwarfs quite a lot. So it doesn't really, it just kind of bounces off them. But he's fight 5, and being the Candish King, he has Heroic Strike. So he's got 2 might and Heroic Strike. He's also got March, which is very helpful because you can obviously pop that and yeet the chariot, 15 inches, which is quite nice. That's quite fun because then you can hit stuff because it counts as charging. And he's got a 6-inch banner. And anyone who's a 6-inch banner is okay in my book.
We know
Basically.
you have a soft spot for 12-inch banners, though, don't you?
I do. 6 and 12-inch banners. If anyone tries to come at me with a 3-inch banner, get in the bin. I don't remember the last time I used a real banner. Anything that's got an inbuilt 6 or 12-inch banner, sign me right up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's him. 3 attacks, 4 on the charge. Give him a hand and a half axe. So piercing strikes, now he's strength 5. Happy days. Go 2-handed, basically strength 7. Success.
Perfect. Yeah, I would like to replay. I really want to play against Khan. I think they're pretty cool. Hopefully they'll get some attention in the future, like Easterlings finally have. So that would be quite cool.
Yeah, I might finally paint mine up. They're sat on the shelf all shiny and chrome at the moment. I used them once for like a friendly kind of little tournament thing we had here, and then I've never used them again.
Friendly tournament and then you took canned. That's not friendly.
Well, I it is because I lost pretty much every game. So actually it is. Apart from that one game with poor Daniel where I broke him in the first movement phase.
All right.
Because he deployed slightly too close to me, bless him. I think he forgot chariots exist or didn't really know what they could do. And then he had some elves and they were soft and they got run over. And boy, did they get run over.
How many chariots did you have?
6. Yeah, I had two hero chariots, 4 basic chariots, Carmul on Fell Beast, I think it was.
Ooh.
And a couple of cataphracts.
Poor Daniel.
Poor Daniel.
Is that why we haven't seen him in so long? Because you just ran him over.
Oh no, this was like years ago now. I think I've had them almost like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years. They've just been sat there unpainted. Bless them. But yeah, Candish King and Chariot. Lee, number 3. What did you put? Is it a dwarf? Get it? Because he always picks dwarfs. No, he has put, you'll love this, the Mordor lad, Lance on horse Terror one, ? So I'm guessing captain? That is a Black Numenorean captain. Marshal.
Yes.
Black Numenorean Marshal.
Yeah.
Does he have a lance? I didn't know.
Oh, you can give him a lance, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we had him, he was at one of the events that we ran, someone brought him and he did a lot of work for that guy against Lee. Basically, he was in his Corsairs list, I believe.
Ah, right, yeah.
Just provide a bit of like cavalry punch in the face.
Punch in the face.
Yes, punch in the face. I'm trying to find his profile because I just do not know it, but I'm pretty sure he is.
Like 4, strength 4, defense 7, I think. 2 attacks, 2 wounds.
I'm surprised he's only fight 4. I would have thought he'd be fight 5, but there we go.
Oh, maybe he is fight 5. Yes, they fight the normal Black Numenorians are fight 4, aren't they?
Yeah. So he is, if you pay for armored horse and a lance, he's 85 points. And that gets you fight 5, strength 4, defense 7, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 5, 2 might, 1 will, 1 fate. But then he's obviously got terror as well. So it stacks quite nicely with wraiths and stuff. Because you can have terror on a charging dude. But yeah, he's a solid hero. Solid little wrecking ball hero. Like it. Nice.
I think that's the only problem with Mordor, isn't it? There's just so much choice.
Oh, there's so much choice. Yeah, it's a bit silly. Cool. I suppose you two have both given us your number 3s already with the generic wraiths. Let me
bombing through.
It's super efficient.
We are super efficient. I was being inefficient though because my number 3 is Barry White. So let me put him in there. You got Bazza. Barry White. There we go. Sped through the number 3s. Look at that. Rapid. Right. Into the good stuff. The money balls. Number 2 from Lee. He has put, and I'm sure this is going to pick off a lot of the other people, a Goblin Mercenary Captain. Anyone else got him anywhere in your lists?
I like it.
I actually put him at number 1.
Ooh.
Spice. I had him at 2.
He was on my think about it list, but
interesting. So that means Zahir's got someone up in his top 2 that we haven't put up here. Ooh, juicy.
If we're going by what we've been saying throughout these top 5s, is that we're comparing them point for point. What do you get? How much bang do you get for your buck sort of thing? To me, it's got to be the Mercenary Captain for me, in terms of like how
number 1.
you win, how in terms of winning the game and how swingy I think he could. I think if anybody for that points for being that cheap, it's got to be him.
You are essentially paying 10 points for that kind of mechanic, the ambush mechanic that he has. Because a normal Goblin Captain is 35. So assume it's 5 points extra because it's got his extra defense. Because that's how Games Workshop like to do things sometimes. So you're paying 10, maybe 12 points or whatever, but for this ambush special rule. And like you say, the amount of times that ambush special rule will just straight up win you a game. And it's a bit like the Barrow Whites in the threat of it. Just if you can keep them off the table for a while, just a threat of your opponent knowing that at some point you can put some Goblin Mercenaries wherever you want and just kind of, they're there, enjoy. It forces them to think about it when they deploy because they know that like they can't hide in terrain because you might also just pop up in terrain, so they can't like stick their archers in some woods because suddenly you're in the woods with them and little things like that. It's just I think what makes him what tops him off is like, for me, everybody below him, like in terms of what they can do, like really can either make things a lot easier for yourself or swing the momentum in your favor, but then you've still got to go and win it. Whereas with the Merc Captain, he can literally be like, right, done, there's nothing you can do and I'm going to win. I think it just that, I think it, obviously I'm not saying that nobody else can do it, but I just think for it to be more consistently as being right, you're trumped with, with my captain,
either appearing here or there or wherever, I think he can just do it a lot easier than anybody else. So
Yeah.
that's why he takes my top spot.
It's a bit like when you used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It was like, you've activated my trap card. Bam.
Oh, that brings back some memories.
I love him. I love him so much. Get in the bin, scribe. God. Yeah. No, Golden Mercy Captain. I love him. He's my boy. He's my boo. I love you.
Love you.
Zahir, then you've got a number 2 to share with us.
Yeah, this was just like, I thought I'd throw a bit of a curveball in there, but he is just amazing. He is the Troll Chieftain.
Oh, good shout.
Especially in the Blackgate Opens Legendary Legion, where
But that one's a named one.
Not really.
Named, but not named.
He is. He's the Blackgate Troll Chieftain.
Yeah. You can only take one of him in that.
Right, well, normal Troll Chieftain will do just as well.
Yeah. If you want to see how good a normal Troll Chieftain is, you can look at our other battle report with Ministerial versus Mordor and see just how good Troll Chieftains are.
See, my list was just literally to just plug your other videos. That's what I've done. But I think just having that fight 7 on something that can still strike means your enemy heroes are going to need to strike up to even match, the fight value. And then, having a monster, meaning you can rend them or just hurl them. And they're just another great warrior troop. They're chomper,
The flashbacks, the Vietnam style that this guy gives us in our local group, it's just an absolute menace. When we all started playing out, there was one little Mordor Troll Chieftain we used to kick around our local tables, and no one could deal with it because no one had quite worked out how to do it yet and how to deal with monsters, and it would just ruin everyone's life. Now it's not too bad because we've all worked out how to play around them, but at the time it was just like, it's devastating. If you've got yourself a Pelennor Field starter box, if you make yourself up a Witch King on Fell Beast and a Mordor Troll that you make look fancy and call it a Mordor Troll Chieftain, you can really, really just win all your local games for a long time and lose all your friends. Enjoy it. It's great fun. Just really embrace that. And then go out and buy yourself the Mouth of Sauron, stick him on a horse, and put him together with the Blackgate Troll Chieftain.
I do not rate the Mouth of Sauron at all, personally.
But it's because he's a cheap hero of valor in the Blackgate Legion.
Yeah.
And again, like we said with the Barrow Wights, it's that threat of the threat of being able to, if you charge something into a Troll Chieftain and then it's my turn to move and I can just go, cool, well, you're immobilized now.
Yeah.
And now you're dead. Is fairly fairly good.
Very good.
That's my consumer advice. If you'd like to buy yourself a Pelennor Fields box set and upset all your friends, you can do that on the Atomic Cards website. Shameless plug.
Is that what YouTube is now to you? It's just free advertising.
What do you mean now? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's my job. So, yes. That's everyone's. We've got kind of one pick left to go. So I guess we should probably just quickly, if you have been enjoying our things, we should probably plug the YouTube a little bit. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. If you
ring
are
that bell.
Lee. So Zahir, can you take Lee's role on the bell?
And ring that bell to get a notification every time you post a video.
He says it much more enthusiastic than that. Can you do it better, please?
No.
Okay.
I am not. I do not have the childlike enthusiasm of Lee.
And remember, if you do see Lee at any future events, make sure you do tell him. Just walk up to him and just go, "Oh, ring that bell!" Make sure you do that, especially if your name is Nathan Talbot. He will love that. So yeah, make sure you like, subscribe to all the things. Facebooks, Instagrams, they're all down there. If you want to buy some terrain like Zahir's making, his Instagram's going to be in there. Drop him a message. He's also on Etsy and stuff like that. If you want to say hi to Ross, just put it in the comments. Go, hi, Ross.
Yeah, talk to me.
He's not got anything to sell, but
No.
He's just here because he enjoys it. Not
Yeah.
like Zahir.
He's there to sell good times.
He's just there to sell his body. Just quickly, a couple of honourable mentions for the lists before we dive straight into these last places. Anyone got anyone who nearly made the list?
Well, definitely the Merc captain. I like the Merc captain.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, I'm a Hood King on Camel.
Oh yes. Oh, we do like him.
Good shout.
If he had one more point of might, the things I would do to him with one more point of might.
Dragon Knight.
Dragon Knights, Eastland Dragon Knights, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, they were very close to being on instead of the Candish King instead. For me, just a generic shaman. So a standard Mori Goblin shaman, Orc shaman, maybe not the Isengard shaman because you don't really need it. But those two in particular, the Goblin and Mordor shamans. When was the last time you saw a Mori Goblin list that did really well without the Mori Goblin shaman, excluding Rowan May's lists from War?
Yeah,
they're just so good. That Fury. I mean, I could just write Fury in the list.
Yeah.
But
I think also drummers. Drummers are very underrepresented in this. I think they're really handy, especially in like the Scout Legions and stuff.
I always forget that they're heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only problem, it's not a hero, but the Mordor Troll drum is like the best drum in the game, I think. Just being able to affect your whole army rather than just orcs,
I mean, it is the biggest drum in the game, to be fair. So there's that. But yeah, no, real good shout. We like them.
Mumux.
Yeah, War Beasts in general.
Yeah.
I quite like. I don't really play him all that often, but I've had quite a bit of success just with some Taskmasters.
Yeah, they're good fun.
In a tournament, in your last tournament that we played down in Swindon.
You got the Swindon massive.
And my last game was against Aragon King LSR with a load of a few knights and some Guard of Fountain Court and warriors and all that sort of thing. And literally, like, the fact that he was calling free with his 3 point of might heroic moves literally majority of the time, and I was calling back the moves and still getting them for free as well. It just kept me in it so well. It was just so needed. It's such a pain where, like, well, I'm going to call a heroic move and I get it for free. Are you going to call a heroic move and have to spend? And then just like, oh, for God's sake. And it's just so. I think on a 4+, it is fair. If it was anything like a 3+, I mean, it would just be OP to hell. But yeah, on a 4+, it's definitely not something to sniff at. So
pretty much anything in the Mordor list that does not have a name should be on the list. They're just really good.
My two broad sweeping statements then going to be any captain that's under 40 points. So a Mori Goblin captain and a Goblin Town captain for 35 points, and just let you bring loads of goblins. Great. And cheap might. Things like Lake Town Militia captains, fantastic, because you can just spam them to high hell. They're all great. There's just nothing special about them, bless them. And the other one being the Kings. So Ross in particular does quite like a King of Men.
Yes, I do.
But the I mean, they're good, obviously. But maybe we'll come to them later.
Video, Tom.
But
stick on topic.
Yes, that I forgot that they are different. You're right. So should we go through some number ones? It'll be fun, I reckon. Let's see who Lee put as his number one. Bearing in mind again that Lee doesn't use evil armies. Okay, here we go. Lee has put Barry White as his number one.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's who's going to be another one. The Shade. everyone forgets about him now because he's been nerfed to high heavens, right? But the fact that he had to get nerfed to high heavens tells you he's
How
still
good
pretty
he is.
annoying. Yeah, he's 100 points, an awful lot, but what a shade. So good.
Yeah, he's really
Good
good.
luck finding one. So yeah, Lee put Barry White number 1. Fair enough. He's really good. We all like him. Done. Zahir, who's your number 1?
A Black Shield Shaman.
Ross, is that your number 2?
That is my number 2.
Yeah, cool. This is my number 1. Yeah. I'm gonna give its correct name, those are here. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Shatter Shaman, and Shatter Shaman. Because let's be honest, that's why he's there.
Yeah.
Shatter stuff.
It's the Shatter Shaman. Yeah, he can shatter stuff. If anyone's not fully aware of what Shatter can do, Shatter can just instantly destroy some of your war gear. So if you're having a nice time walking around with, like, let's use an extreme example, with Sauron, and you've got a nice big fancy mace, this little goblin here can just go let out a little song, you know, like she does in like the Harry Potter film. What is it, Dawn French in the thing? Shatter that mace, pop, and now Sauron, bless him, is unarmed. And by being unarmed, he's got -1 to dual roll and -1 to his strikes for the rest of the game. Bang, gone. That lovely banner that you like, pop, gone. Stupid Boromir and his stupid white flag, pop, gone. Shatter Shaman, great. Stupid Balrog and his stupid whip that wins all the games because he just pulls people into combat, gone. Stupid whip. Armor as well. People always forget about the armor. Oh, look at you in your heavy dwarvish armor that gives you +3 defense. Whoop, now you're naked. What are you going to do? He's so good.
He is very good.
Tom, I
He's
think
really
you need to just read the rule book to everyone and just put your own commentary on it. It would be amazing. It should be story time with Atomic Cards.
I love them. They're great.
I think the reason why, as I said, the reason why he's not my number 1 is he's really good against, he's very anti-hero and he can like shut heroes down. And that's it. I'd rather have a Goblin Mercenary Captain that can potentially win me a game instead of shutting down a hero.
Yeah,
So
you can, the Goblin,
that's my thinking.
your Shatter Shaman kind of stops your opponent from winning the game necessarily, whereas the Merc Captain can win you the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
So-
at lower points is probably really good because you're more likely to play an army with one hero or, you know, one really big tool in a game that's going to win them a game. So if you've
Yeah.
you know, like if someone takes a Boromir or an Aragorn or something and you just destroy their weapon, that's nullifying that, and then you can use your swarm of goblins to just go around. You know.
If you go to like a 450 point tournament and you take someone obnoxiously good like Gilgalad, stick him on a horse, if someone runs along and goes, "Oh, A-Gloss," gone, that would really upset you, I think. Or, you know, if you took, like you say, Boromir, and just popped off his sword, now you've got a -1 all the time. Yeah, it's just really irritating.
And they're so cheap. I mean, you're likely going to have 2, if not 3, if you want to be that dude.
I'm really debating as a ringer army for this tournament we're running, just in case no one turns up, having a Balrog and 2 Shatter Shamans.
That's just pure sweat.
It's not.
Tom wants to win his own tournament.
If you kill the Shatter Shamans, which you probably can do, let's be honest, then it breaks. So, you know, there's that.
But if you can you take the Black Shield Shamans in the Legion or not?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, because otherwise then they wouldn't break because you need to wound the battle.
But yeah, little Balrog and two Shatter Shamans, little sweaty little list there. That could be fun for someone and really ruin your day for everyone else. The other interesting like little flexy shaman we didn't talk about is obviously the Angmar shaman. He doesn't get talked about at all, but he's got Wither, which is another really like unique spell. Because that lowers your strength by 1.
Oh.
That's
that
what
could
the
be-
that's what the new shaman has as well.
Yeah.
New release, dude.
Whatever his name is, that guy. Yeah, Wither just really irritating because you can just go, ooh, again, like to use a Boromir as an example, like 1 or 2 hits from Wither and he's down to strength 2. And you're like, well, you might have 6 might, mate. You can't do anything. You're just going to bounce off everyone.
Here's a question: the whole Wither. Do you think you
Yes.
could do that on a siege engine?
No.
I don't know what the wording is for it, but
I don't think you could.
I'm intrigued.
You could probably do it on a siege engine captain. Not that you'd want to.
Not that you want to, but I just thought it'd
No.
be quite interesting. You could use the Wither on a siege engine, and it just reduces the strength of the.
No, I think it's because it doesn't reduce the effect of the projectile or something. I don't know.
Shame.
I'll find out.
I don't know.
I'll speak to the council and find out.
The Council of Elders.
The Council of Elders who guide us in everything that we do. Brilliant. Yeah, so we're starting to waffle a bit now, bless us. But that's because we've had a good time. If you have also had a good time, stick around for the next one. And we'd also be quite interested to hear what you'd like to see us attempt to rank in the future. So whether you want to hear like top 5 Legend Legions, whether you want to hear like bottom 5 models, I don't know, best 5 looking sculpts, top 5 children in Middle Earth. Are there 5 now?
I don't know if they're even 5.
There's at least 4.
Alex.
Bard's got 3 in the Rohan one.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Is it? Ah, underwhelming. Games Workshop, give us one more child.
We could all argue about which order they come in.
Can you word that better?
That's just no. This is a family-friendly channel. Come on.
It is, but Ross already did a swear, so
Yeah.
so all
Sorry.
the families have left us now. Left us here to rot.
Oh, that was like the first 2 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, cool. Let's wrap it up. Thank you guys for coming, staying around. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lee, for sending your list. If everyone nags in the comments, we'll get baby pictures for next time. Until then, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
We need to elongate the bye second because I've
Bye.
say bye some more. Bye. I can't find a